February 2026, yung ibang mga kasamahan ko, sinabi na ginamit na yung Blue Ribbon, may mga pinagtakpan sa majority nila, no? May mga pinakita sa akin whether ito yung pong, basta saka ko na ilalabas yung mga ebidensya, but basically yung sinasabi, nakipagsabuatan si Senator Lacson sa administrasyon para iporma laban kay Jinggoy, kay Cheese, kay Joel, etc. Regardless kung may zero truth, partial truth, or whatever. And then may mga pinagtakpan, no? From masterminds lower. And then iba-ibang grupo 'yon, ha. Wala pa wala pa atang 18 noon yung Marines. So ang inudyukan namin noon ay si Senator Loren. So again, wala naman nagsabing dapat ako, binigay ko sa kanya. Tapos nag-usap kami, sabi niya, "Alan, sana tayong dalawa," no? But kaming dalawa, meaning mag-sharing din kami. So when we were going to execute, dahil may 14 na kami, biglang may mga tumawag at doon po nag-umpisa. Doon ko nalaman na negotiable pala yung mga kaso nila. Kasi tinawagan na yung mga may kaso, huwag nyo lang iboto si Loren, bawiin nyo, hindi na kayo kakasuhan. At yung isa doon, na-witness ko mismo dahil sa harap ko tinawagan yung isang high official at narinig ko yung pinag-usapan. So, we stopped there kasi nga may isa naman, wala naman siyang kaso, yung kunikwento ko sa inyo. Pero nagulat ako, takot na takot, no? And isang dahilan takot, minsan medyo napitik din siya na baka banggitin ang pangalan niya, although he swears wala naman siya. At doon ko nga nakita na grabe ang leeway ni Senator Lacson na, kasi may sinabi si Senator Lacson doon na parang, hindi, kausapin natin yung mga namamahala kasi yung witness na yan ay hindi credible. Pero pagdating kay Joel Villanueva, pagdating kay Jinggoy, pagdating kay Cheese, credible naman yung, well, wala si Cheese ata sa witness na yon, no? Pero doon sa dalawa, or at least kay Senator Joel yung particular witness na yon. So what happened is sometime March, I went to see two people. No, one is someone not in government, very close to the president, and the other one is very, very high official. Basically, ang sinabi ko, sumunod yung mga kasama ko, hindi naman inelect si Senator Loren, kami tatlo lang ang gusto namin. One, tutukan yung ekonomiya ng ating bansa kasi kahit na hindi inaamin ng Malacanang, no? Not exactly in these words, no? But basically, it took some time for Malacanang to admit that there's a crisis. And they didn't create the crisis. The crisis came from the US, Iran, and Israel conflict. No? But it took in denial for the first 2 weeks ang Malacanang. Samantalang every other government in ASEAN, around the world, in Asia, were already pinoporma na nila yung mga contingency plans. Diba? That's why nga, nag-file ako, pero sinabi nila Senator Tito, SP, wag lagyan ng ilang days yung contingency plan ng Malacanang, and then afterwards yung Protect Committee, ako at mga staff ko nag-draft noon para nga may pressure sa Malacanang na to deal with the economic. Okay, pangalawa, sinasabi nila importante impeachment, and sabi na hindi namin papangako boto namin kasi nga we have to do it sa ebidensya. So panay ang tanong sa amin, so you will allow na lumabas yung ebidensya? Sabi, of course, that's part of our job. Hindi namin job ay i-convict o kaya i-acquit na mag-a-act kami as prosecutors or as defense lawyers. Ang trabaho namin mag-judge, no? And then, syempre may magtatanong sa Blue Ribbon. Sabi namin, wala kaming specific target except yung katotohanan. Meaning, there has to be a way that the Blue Ribbon will not be used as a tool laban lang sa kalaban ng mga administrasyon, then mapagtakpan yung totoo. Of course, at that time, hindi ko pa alam yung main allegations regarding certain Malacanang personalities, and going all the way to the top. Of course, marami yung Cabral files, yung by March ba, I think nandun na yung Marines, and then also yung Bersamin files. Basta marami yan, no? So, basically, ang message ko was, malabo namang makabuo kami, pero it's always possible. So, ang pinapaabot lang namin sa Malacanang ay hindi na po feasible yung Tito Soto, Risa Hontiveros, Kiko Pangilinan, Lacson, Group of 4, Gang of 4, na pagpapatakbo ng Senado because it wasn't productive anymore. Panay 2028 lang ang issue, tapos maraming pinagtatakpan, tapos hindi nakatutok sa pangangailangan ng tao. They didn't listen to me. So on May 11, we got the majority. Okay? Hindi namin alam na si Senator Soto mismo, si SP, nagpapasok ng mga NBI at mahigit na 20 ahente nakakalat na sa buong Senate. That's never happened before. They've always coordinated, stayed in one place, and then talked kung paano. Parang kay Senator Jinggoy, napakaayos. Actually, it would have been better kung pinayagan nila ako i-escort sa labas. But nakita nyo, maayos. So yung May 11, in hindsight makikita nyo na po mga kababayan na May 11, set up nila yon. May 13, sila naglagay ng full battle gear na mga NBI at mapapatunayan namin, Senate premises po yon. So ang point ko po, sila yung nanggulo na nanggulo ng nanggulo, yung 11 kakampi ang Malacanang, kakampi po ang NBI, tapos pinapalabas, ako at kami ang magulo. Clear na yon, hindsight Even yung walkout, nung sila nag-walkout, 12, wala daw quorum. Nung nagka-12 sila, meron na biglang quorum. Nung sinabi nila, gusto lang nila magtrabaho. Di ba? Nakita nyo naman po, hindi man lang nagbigay ng mga pangalan sila doon sa mga committee. So, paano nila sasabihin gusto nilang magtrabaho? Tapos nakita nyo, nung sinabi nila si Senator Wing ay acting Senate President, unang issuance, work from home. Nung pumasok pa rin ang mga taga-Senado, ang sinabi, alas 10, umuwi na kayo. Hindi ba katawa-tawa yun? Di ba? Yung sasabihin sa'yo, work, let's get back to work. Tapos yung unang i-issue is to work from home, then the next day, umuwi na kayo. 10 o'clock pa lang, pinapauwi na. Kaya nga sabi ko, mag-ingat si Senator Win, kasi maganda naman future niya. Huwag ka magpagamit sa Malacanang at dun sa mga kasamahan mo, kahit binibigyan ka ng high position. I'll give you the advice that someone I really respect gave me, which is, receive, don't grab. I didn't grab the Senate presidency in 2016. I didn't grab it in 2025. I didn't grab it in February 2022. But to God's grace, napunta sa akin. By the way, kung nakuha ko yon earlier, kasi di ba nagsama-sama Senator Coco, Senator Tito, Senator Frank Drilon, Senator Mig Subiri. Alam nyo kasi sinasabi nila masarap maging Senate President. Yun yung reading between the line. Kasi usually tens of billions ang pwede mo ipasok sa budget. Usually yan, malaking mga discretionary funds ang pwede mo i-withdraw. Then of course, number 3 ka. So sa lahat ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno, basically, you're a VIP there. Ang daming perks po ang pagiging Senate President, So when the 4 of them says na, Alan, bumitiw ka na lang, huwag kang kumapit sa posisyon, First and foremost, nagulat ako na these personalities, especially Senator Drilon and Senator Coco, were staunch anti-Marcos personalities. Suddenly, Marcos na rin, I'll go to that later, but what's my point? Sila na-enjoy nila lahat yan. Ako, the day na tinanggap ko at sinabi ko sa mga kasamahan ko, I'm up to the challenge. Kasi nung sinabi sa akin ni Senator Loren, ikaw na, Alan, kumilos na tayo. Nagtanong muna ako I went to Senator Cheese and said na, ako ba dapat talaga pa? But the day na tinanggap ko, I knew, I will not be an ordinary SP. This isn't the usual, di ba, na first among equals ka, na malaki pondo mo. I knew, laban to ng katotohanan. And I was told already na linggo-linggo, sisubukan kang alisin, laging araw-araw. And I knew na grabe ang gagawin nila. Pero hindi ko na-imagine talaga na I knew they were gonna throw at me the kitchen sink. But I didn't know that pati yung kitchen itatapon nila. We knew na bubuhayin yung kaso laban sa iba sa amin, pero hindi namin alam na ganun talaga yung pressure na gagamitin. But the reason I bring that up, I wanted to emphasize, hindi kami nagkulang sa trying to build bridges. So finally, nung naka-first base kami, kausap namin ilan high officials and then hanggang umabot sa Malacanang, we communicated that you can trust us in me, in particular, and the group, kasi nakausap ko na yung grupo, gagawin namin maayos ang impeachment. Hindi namin papangako boto namin, but we will commit na we will listen to the evidence, we will view, we will hold it together with the legislative. Nag-commit din kami doon sa economic. Sabi namin, pagdating sa Blue Ribbon, aayusin natin yung mga hearings na hindi maapektuhan yung ating mga negosyante, but sabi ko, kailangan lumabas yung totoo. Okay? So, hindi po kami nagkulang. So, yung 11 sa pagko-convince sa Malacanang na kalaban yan. So, the problem is they kept on inching towards doing illegal and immoral things until we got to the situation we are in here today. So yun po yung basic context of how we got here today. But more important than the state of the Senate is the state of the nation. So let me go to that. Sabi nila po, yung hindi marunong lumingon sa kanyang pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa kanyang paruroonan. Sabi nila, history repeats itself. So nung sinabing never again, nagulat tayo bakit again. But I think all of us, not only those who voted for the Marcos Duterte team, but even those who didn't, were praying and hoping maging successful dahil ang success ng administrasyon na to ay success natin lahat. Anong naging problema? Slowly and clearly, a pattern of corruption was shown. And then, nung sinabi ng Pangulo, mahiya naman kayo, lumabas po dito yung pinakamalaking corruption scam sa Pilipinas involving trillions of pesos, including stolen money of at least hundreds of billions of pesos. By the way, si Senator Joel was one of those who first warned about it. So kung ang sasabihin nila, paano naging Pangulo yon dahil he warned about it. Well, winar ng Pangulo, that was I think SONA ng 2025, but si Joel has been warning since 2023. To be fair, panahon pa ni Duterte, sinasabi niya na bantayan yung flood control sa Bulacan.